Every summer, our cities get hit with a water crisis. We all hear about big plans to ramp up supply, but the root of the problem still remains. Water shortage is a reality of the 21st century. It's time to face the hard truth. It's time to walk the talk. And that should begin with adopting rainwater harvesting and encouraging others to do the same. How do you harvest rainwater and how do you get started? All that covered in this report.
If the monsoons have hit your city, then don't just enjoy the rains. Make a pledge to harvest those rains too. The concept of rainwater harvesting is all about going back to the basics. And India, in fact, has a long-standing tradition of our ancestors harvesting water in their homes. Today, once again, people are waking up to this humble technology. And a successful example of that can be seen in Delhi's Nizamuddin East colony. Residents here have come together to lay down a colony-wide network of rainwater recharge wells.
We've actually dealt with our waterlogging problems to a very large extent in this colony. I think maybe we're down to about 10% of the problem that we used to have way back then. Also, the quality of the water that we've seen has improved hugely. So not only has our water table come up, and you know that when we look at these figures standalone, they look like, okay, yes, you have an improvement from say about 70 to 80 feet coming up to about 20 to 25 feet, which is commendable. But you've got to also see that this is the same period in which this colony has seen two real estate booms.
The runoff from the rains is drained into these stormwater wells that are placed at points most prone to waterlogging. That accumulated water is then redirected to rainwater harvesting pits through underground pipes. Filter media like pebbles, gravel or sand at the bottom of the pit will refine the rainwater. A perforated pipe is inserted right up to the groundwater table of that area, and the filtered water then seeps into the pipe through the pores to meet your ground aquifer. Rainwater collected on rooftops or courtyards can also be transported through pipes into storage tanks. This water can be used for gardening or cleaning cars. The beauty of rainwater harvesting is that you can actually get creative with saving water.
This is a simple stormwater inlet. Every house has this type of inlet. What we have done, we have raised a wall around it so that water does not enter into the structure and get wasted flowing into the drain, but rather it is forced to flow into this type of structure, which is again a type of recharge structure. This is RCC slab, small RCC slab. Below that you have a pipe through which water enters and the groundwater. Initially when this structure was not there, we used to have a water logging in front of the gate. Now things have been sorted and we have not only have an increase in the groundwater level, but we have solved our water logging problem also.
The technique is fairly simple, but how does one get started? Organizations like the Center for Science and Environment and government bodies dealing with water management offer knowledge support and assistance to install rainwater harvesting systems. You need to first conduct a water audit. Identify your catchment areas, which means the surface which collects the maximum amount of rainfall. It could be a rooftop, garden, courtyard or open ground. Next, estimate the pattern of rainfall you get in your area. This will give you an indication of whether to store rainwater or to recharge it. Also note the peak intensity of the rainfall you receive. This will tell you what size of the storage or recharge structure should you build. Now dig out some geological and hydrological data. This will help you select the site of your harvesting system. Find out if the soil in your area is rocky or sandy or loamy to estimate if it will be conducive to water infiltration. The size of your water harvesting system is determined by how much is available and how much is needed. So multiply the number of persons with the per capita norm for water supply to estimate the demand. The cost incurred varies from site to site. When communities pool in their resources, the investment goes down. The major chunk of the expenses go in pipe connections. For instance, for buildings of about 300 square meters, the cost would start from 2,000 rupees and will go up to 30,000 rupees per structure. Learning from the example of Nizamuddin East Colony in Delhi, your RWA can approach your municipal corporator or MLA to fund the project. State governments provide a certain percentage of subsidy, while others offer a rebate on property tax as incentives. So while local municipalities are serious about promoting rainwater harvesting, it hasn't seen large-scale success.
The basic issue is that funds, municipalities worldwide, if you look at municipalities, they're generally in the red. This is the bane of all civic bodies. So finding adequate funding is a problem, and then also making your own junior staff realize that how important it is to conserve water. It somehow does not figure in everyone's priorities as yet.
Their outlook has been a little standalone, put one down here, put one down there. Also, they only execute, they do not maintain. And the benefit accrues from year after year after year after year, catching that rainwater and recharging it. They also have a few riders to say that, ideally their projects must be executed by CPWD approved contractors. That makes it cumbersome sometimes for people.
Water, the elixir of life, is precious and limited. If we are taking from Mother Earth, it's our responsibility to give back as well. So join hands with your community and start harvesting rainwater to provide for a better tomorrow. Vasudha Sharma, NDTV.